With this video we're going to see how to prepare a chlorine sensor for first time operation. Chlorine sensors are shipped with a red protective end cap. It's important to remove that before first use. Sensors are also shipped with a protective membrane. This is a shipping membrane which must be removed and disposed of before first use. To remove the membrane, unscrew the electrolyte chamber. You can now see the inside of the chlorine sensor. You can see there's an O-ring which seals the electrolyte chamber to the body of the sensor. The silver membrane holder is removed by just unscrewing it. There's also a membrane, an O-ring between the membrane and the electrolyte chamber. Just remove the shipping membrane and dispose of that. To carry out the startup of the chlorine sensor, you need electrolyte and membranes, both of which are supplied with the sensor. The membranes are supplied in a small packet. The spacer is light blue. The membranes are white. Be careful never to use the blue spacer. It's important not to touch the membrane in the center, but it's perfectly okay to use your fingers as long as you only touch the edge. It doesn't matter which way round the membrane is, you can put it in with either side facing into the sensor. Place the membrane into the membrane holder and screw the membrane cap on until it just starts to become tight, and then give the membrane holder another 1/8 of a turn. Electrolyte is added. The correct amount of electrolyte is added by just adding electrolyte until it becomes up to the top of the screws. Before we put the body back into the electrolyte chamber, you have to remove the fill screw here. This fill screw allows any excess electrolyte or air bubbles to escape from the sensor. We gently push the sensor body into the electrolyte and then tighten the electrolyte chamber onto the sensor body. And what you can see is that the excess electrolyte weeps out of the fill hole. Every now and then we can tap the sensor body. This allows any air bubbles to come to the surface. It's important not to over-tighten the sensor, but to do make sure that it is tightly connected. So when the sensor body stops moving and it's tight on the screws, hand pressure is enough just to give the sensor body another 1/4 of a turn or 1/8 of a turn. The fill screw then needs to be put back in place. And again, do not over tighten the fill screw. There is a danger that you can snap the screw if you over tighten. When you feel the pressure on the O-ring, just use your fingers to gently tighten the sensor. Remove any excess electrolyte. The sensor is now ready for use. We can see the new membrane in place. The sensor is ready for operation as per the instruction manual. You now have to polarize the sensor.